Let's just wait. All right, we're live. We are live. It's going to be a really good night tonight. I'm really excited about it. Hi to everybody that's already posting. So hi Matt, hi Erwin. Let's see who else is posting here. Hi Aiden. Hi Ibrahim. I think that's how you say your name. Hopefully I get it right. Hi Sail Away. So hi Jim. I'm really glad to see you guys are early and getting in on this because really, if you guys are already in the trading lab, or 0DTE SPX as it started out back in the day, like a month ago or 6 weeks ago. Feels like a while, but it's only been 6 weeks. Then this is going to be a really good presentation for you guys because you're going to get a sneak peek of what version 1.1 is really all about of the SPY ATM stuff. So Phil is a mastermind here. He's really produced some really amazing stuff for us. So we're pretty excited about it because if version 1 was good, version 1.1 is going to blow it out of the water. So maybe, Phil, you could say a few words just briefly here before we start the presentation. It's a recorded presentation, which means it's more polished than if we just did it live. So we're going to be answering questions on voice at the end and also in the chat throughout as well. So you guys are going to have the chance to chat to everybody. We're also running that SPY ATM competition where you have the chance to basically win a free lifetime subscription. It's only for people that are new to the system, though, so you're not going to get a refund if you are already in the system lifetime and you win the competition. We'll have to pick somebody else. So we're going to make sure that somebody new gets a SPY ATM lifetime. Unfortunately, it's just the way that we run these competitions. We want to encourage new people to join. So maybe Phil, you can do a very brief introduction while we wait for people to come in, and then we'll run the awesome video that you made earlier.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I see some familiar names in the chat. So thanks for joining us tonight. Do we have any new people here tonight that are new to SPY ATM? Let us know in the chat if you're new.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we're a couple minutes past the hour, so it's probably most people in. I think some people join 5 or 10 minutes after, but I'm just going to start the presentation anyway, and we're going to go from there. So it's on YouTube unlisted, and here is, I'm going to go full screen so that we are basically here, and then I'm going to, is it showing full screen on your guys' end or not?
It is, yeah.
It is full screen, so we're no longer on the screen, it's the full screen.
Oh, we're on the screen as well.
Okay, yeah, so let me just change that real quick. I thought that might happen. So let me just hit full screen here. Boom. And then now we should see, you guys see the presentation up on the screen? Guys, do you see the presentation up on the screen?
Mine's lagging.
Let me see.
Just give it a couple.
Yeah, I see YouTube with the white borders.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go full screen on YouTube as well here, so that we did that. So now you shouldn't see any borders whatsoever. It should just say SPY ATM Alerts version 1.1.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, well, let's get started. So this is a recorded video, but again, we're going to be in the chat answering questions. And at the end, we can do a whole bunch of question and answers, and then we're going to do the deal for the new service, which is the updated algo for SPY ATM Alerts. And yeah, let's go. So 16 minutes is going to take us. So let's start. So let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Lance or Phil, just text me in Discord. Make sure that actually is working because I can't see any of the chat at the moment. So let's just go.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about our service SPY ATM Alerts, which is part of our Discord, which is called Trade Lab. And SPY ATM Alerts has been up and running on the Discord for a couple of months now, and hopefully we've got some people in the chat tonight that are already members, and they can help us answer some questions and tell you what they like about the system and how it's been working for them. But for all the new people, we're going to go through what SPY ATM is, how it works, what the performance is like, and we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So make sure to jot any questions down, and we'll answer those once the presentation is done in about 10 minutes. And for those of you that are already with SPY ATM, we're going to tell you about some of the new features in version 1.1. So let's get into it. What is SPY ATM? If you look down here, Russell has given us this really awesome slogan, 20% in 20 minutes. And that really sums up the system. The trades on average last about 20 minutes. Some can be just a couple of minutes, some can be a couple of hours, but by far the average is about 20 minutes, and we're targeting a 20% profit using SPY options. It's a simple daily system that trades SPY options at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and it always buys at the money contracts. And this is where we get our name, SPY ATM, at the money. And these first 2 points here were very important to me when I was creating the system. I wanted to make sure we were trading the same ticker at the same time with a predictable options contract. If you've been in a few alert services before, then I'm sure you've witnessed you even see the alert because you've got to be glued to your computer screen to even see it. But by the time you see it and you get into your brokerage account and you pull up that ticker and you pull up that options contract, you've probably missed the trade. It's already moved uh, in the favor of the alert and you've missed the entry. We wanted to make sure that that wouldn't be an issue with SPY ATM. So we're always looking at SPY, and you can also do this on SPX. We can talk about that later. It just depends on your account size. So you'll be looking at the same ticker every day. It's always at the same time at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and you know about which contract we're going to be buying. You're not going to have to scroll up and down the options chain. We're looking right at the money, so an at the money call or at the money put. And the system will target about a $300 spend per trade per $2,000 in account size. And here's something that's new with version 1.1. Each alert is now going to include a suggested contract size for multiple account tiers so that you can scale up or scale down based on your capital. So if you've got a $2,000 account, we'll tell you how many contracts to buy. If you've got a $5,000 account, we'll tell you how many contracts to buy. If you've got a $10,000 account, we'll tell you how many contracts to buy. So it takes all the guesswork out of it. The system is designed for all account types, even small cash accounts. The entry logic is based on short term momentum, so these are fairly quick trades, and it skips trades if the conditions aren't favorable, which will save you from unnecessary losses. Now, here are four things that I think you're going to like about the system, and some of these we've already gone over. But number one, the alerts come in at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You market order into the alert, so you don't have to worry about limit ordering and whether your order is going to fill. You just market order in right away. You set an OCO order, your take profit, your stop loss. Whichever one fills first, the other one cancels. That's what OCO is, and that's it. There's a clean risk to reward. Every trade alert includes a very clear stop loss and a very clear take profit. We tell you exactly where you should be getting in and out of these trades. There's no Greeks to look at, no spreads to deal with, no guesswork. We give it all to you in the alert. And again, this works with small accounts. You can safely do this with account sizes of $2,000 and up, and it's walk away friendly. You place your OCO order and you go. There's no need to monitor the position all day. Here are the results from January 1st, 2024 to July 1st, 2025. You can see down here SPY and the Qs if you just to buy and hold those with $2,000. And up here is SPY ATM. If you were to start with $2,000, here's what your profit looks like with SPY ATM. So it's generated over $5,587 in profits over 294 trades over the last 19 months, which is a 279% ROI. And this chart does not include scaling. So we're looking at a fixed position size of a $2,000 account. So even as your account grows here, we're not scaling the contracts. This is just the system with $2,000 allocated. And that is not what would happen in the real world. In the real world, once you hit one of these higher levels, once you're at $5,000, you're going to scale up and add more contracts, which is going to cause this number to rise even quicker. And here's what that looks like. This is our scaled performance and results. So again, SPY and QQQ are down here, and here's SPY ATM, and you can see it really takes a turn right here. Is somewhere in here, we're starting to add more contracts because the account is growing. And by the time we get here, we're probably doubling the contracts that we were taking down here. So that's the real power of this system, is compounding your growth. And this has generated almost $10,713 in profits, which again, the other system was $5,500. So this is almost double if you compound and scale up as you go. And that's a 436% ROI. And again, we give you the suggested contract sizes for different account tiers in every alert to help you scale responsibly. So we want to make sure you don't scale too fast. We want to make sure you don't put 80% of your account into one trade, because this will quickly turn into this if you do something like that. But if you scale responsibly, like we have outlined in the alerts, this is what you can expect. All right, so the old version, the win rate was 73.7%, which was still phenomenal. But the new version, we've managed to bump that up to 77.37%. And that's with version 1.1. And that is over 274 trades taken. The win rate has gone up because we are more picky about the trades that we get into. So the system will skip trades when conditions aren't favorable, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. But we have tightened up those parameters, and that has caused the win rate to go up and the profitability to go up. That does mean we're taking less trades, but that's not a bad thing. And I don't have a slide for this, but this will be in our trade logs that we'll share with everyone through Google Sheets during the webinar. But on a $2,000 account, the average win is $61, and the average loss is $118. So it's really easy to recover from your losses. You get a $118 loss, 2 wins, back to back, and you've recovered that loss and you're in a little bit of profit. So very easy to recover from losses with the system. All right, so how do we manage risk? As we've already discussed, the system is designed to be selective, and it avoids trading when the conditions aren't favorable. And from January 1st, 2024 to July 1st, 2025, it skipped 99 out of 373 possible trading days, which is about 27% of the time. And it skips based on insufficient momentum or excessive volatility. Now, these 99 trades that we skipped, do some of those trades actually end up winning? Yes, a lot do, but enough of those lose that it makes more sense to sit those out, and that's why we do that. But for those of you that like to apply your own technical analysis, even on skip days, we still post what the alert would have been. So that way you can use that as a starting point for your own setup. Personally, I'm not doing that. I'm taking the alerts as I see them, but I know some of you are more active in trading, and there's even a couple of people in our group right now that don't take the alerts as they are. They use it as a starting point. But you've already seen the results of just taking the alerts as they are, so my recommendation is that you do that unless you are very, very skilled at trading, which, let's be honest, 95% of us think that we're very skilled at trading, but 95% of us are not skilled at reading charts and trading, especially a 0 DTE at the money option that moves very quickly. So, all right. So during this period, the max drawdown was just 14.36%. And the max drawdown is looking at the highest point to the lowest point. So you can think of this as what the max drawdown you'll see likely will be. But the true max drawdown of the system is higher if you were to start on the absolute worst day possible. That max drawdown is more in the range of 20 to 25%. Now, you've got to be really unlucky to get in during that time, but obviously, somebody somewhere will get in during that time. So, I like to put that out there that, for most people, your drawdown is just going to be about 14, 15%. But if you see a drawdown that's 20 or even 25%, don't panic. It happens with the system. It happens with any system. 25% drawdown is absolutely manageable and totally fine for an options trading strategy. So don't worry about it. Even if you buy and hold SPY or the Qs, there is drawdown. So don't let the drawdown worry you. This is the biggest mistake that I see traders making is they come in, they do a few trades, they get some wins, they're excited about the system, and then a loss comes and they're out. They do not want to do it anymore. And that does not make any sense, guys. You've got to think this through logically. Every system has drawdown, every system has losses. If you quit during drawdown, you lock in your losses. If you stick it out, this is what happens. But you have to know that there are times within this that it's going like this. And you have to be willing to accept these little dips that come in if you want what's up here. So stick with it. Don't give up. We're all in this together. I take these trades. Lance takes these trades. We're all doing this together. Know what the drawdown is. You have access to the trade logs. If you join the Discord, they'll be in there. So you can see how things work out over time. Stick with it. Keep your positions consistent and keep showing up every day, and you'll be fine. All right, so let's look at some of the real costs. The average contract price from January 1st, 2024 to July 1st, 2025 was $1.62. We saw a low of 73 and a high of 343, excuse me. And as mentioned earlier, the system is designed to allocate 3,000 or 300, I'm sorry, per 2,000 of account size. So each alert dynamically adjusts the recommended contract amount to stay near that target. And again, we include the suggested sizes for multiple account tiers so that you can scale based on your capital. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by the system adapting dynamically and automatically? Well, let's go through an example. If a contract is priced at $1 and you're trading on a $2,000 account, the alert is going to suggest that you take 3 contracts because a $1 contract is really $100, and 3 contracts, 3 times 100 is 300. That gets you to your target of 300 per $2,000 of account size. If the contract is $3, so again, 3 times 100, that's what your actual cost is, $300. That meets your target of 300 per 2,000. So it's going to do that for you automatically in the alert. And if you're just getting started, regardless of what your account balance is, even if you're coming in with $100,000, $200,000 account, I really recommend that you just use the minimum contract size during your first week or two. Just pretend like you have a $2,000 account and take the minimum, just so you can get familiar with how everything works. You'll feel more comfortable if you do it that way. So, some final thoughts. SPY ATM is clean, fast, and profitable. We have proven performance. We'll provide you with the trade logs from January 1st, 2024 up until today. Later in the live stream, we'll probably go through a little bit of the Discord and show you some people's actual screenshots and comments of their profits. The entries are easy. You're trading the same ticker at the same time every day. There's a clear stop loss and take profit target. And again, it's small account friendly. You can do this with a $2,000 cash account and you don't have to worry about any pattern day trading rules if you're using a cash account. So, thank you for your time. We're going to jump into some questions, and I think we're going to also have a drawing for some some free prizes or just one free prize. I'm not sure. Russell will let us know. So thanks again, guys.
Okay, yeah, this is cool. So yeah, let's close this down. I'll escape the full screen, and then come back to the webinar page right here, and then I'll put our pictures up because people always want to see us all. There we go. All right. So all three of us are here now. So yeah, so if you guys want to answer some of the questions, I can start posting the links. And one point I did want to make is the system also works really, really well for futures trading. So we also give futures trading basically the option to trade MES on this system. And so for prop firm accounts, I bet there's some people that are doing it with prop firm accounts and doing quite well with it. Have you guys seen anybody actually doing that, or anybody mentioned doing prop firm accounts with it? Because I bet it's good for that.
I haven't. I don't know if someone's doing prop firms, but I know that there's a couple people doing MES.
Right.
Okay, yeah. All right, so do you want to answer some of the questions? I'm going to start looking at the prize draw for the free lifetime for SPY ATM, and then we'll do like a prize draw on that and see if any of you guys are watching. Hopefully the person that wins is watching. They never are. It never works out that way, but we'll give it a shot and see if it wins. Okay, you guys want to answer some questions while I'm doing the thing? So got to log into SendGrid and all that stuff.
Yep, I'm looking for our first question here.
Yeah, let's go near the top first. Let's see.
What makes you skip days, FOMC or big news days? Great question, Mario. That part is proprietary, unfortunately, so I can't really answer that. But it does skip days. I can tell you that much, but we can't tell you the secret sauce, unfortunately. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sail Away, you said in the alert, question mark. You must have been asking a question about something that was going on in the video, but I don't know what was going on there. And if
You
you
did ask later, is the alert tag skip or something? Yes. They will be a skip day directly on the alert. However, the alert will say what it would have been. Phil, I think it's on version 1.0.
It is.
So some people could do, we have some fairly active traders as well. So some might want to still take that trade and do their own technical analysis. However, you still get the results that we showed in the presentation by just skipping those days.
Is there a way to automate the alert and initiate a trade? I don't know. That's not something I've done. If you're a coder, maybe you can make something work using an API or something, but we don't have that set up. So you'd have to hire somebody to do that or do it yourself. There's definitely ways to do it. We don't have that.
Yeah, it's really simple and straightforward to enter the trades. As long as you're available at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, you'll see the alert come in within the second after, and then I always enter in within a minute. Ideally, you could enter in within 30 seconds of the alert, and then you just do one cancels other order or OCO order, and then you just go about your day. You don't have to be watching the trade the whole time.
Next question I see, how does the service compare with SPX Premium? And SPX Premium is our options spread service that we also have at Trade Lab. Lance and I both have our own service doing 0 DTE spreads on SPX. So I talked about this in the first presentation with SPY ATM. You could go back and watch that one. These systems pair well together. ATM outperforms SPX Premium by a little bit, but they pair well together because there are days, and I'll be completely honest for you new people that are here tonight that aren't in ATM, ATM lost today. We do have losses; they are real, and it did lose today. But SPX Premium did not; it won today. So that's kind of the benefit to having both is it lessens the drawdown overall because it's very, very rare for both alerts to lose on the same day. So, and you'll have days where SPX Premium will lose, but SPY ATM will win. So, but they're similar, and ATM outperforms it a little bit, but they're pretty comparable. I would recommend being in both if you're interested in if you're in ATM and you have the ability to do credit spreads. You do need a $10,000 account minimum, and obviously you need to be able to trade on margin because you're doing spreads. You can't do that in a cash account. You have anything to add to that, Lance?
No, that all makes sense. With this ATM alert, though, you could do this on a small account. I did see another question about can you do it with $1,000 account. Me and Phil actually were testing this out over the weekend, and 1,000 actually does work well. The drawdown is a little bit higher because if you do get in a loss, obviously if you have a smaller account size, the drawdown will be a little bit higher, but it is still reasonable and it has really good results in the end. So a minimum would be $1,000. Ideally, you'd have at least $2,000 to be able to take the trades. We use around $300 in most trades. So if the contract's around 1.5, you'll do 2 contracts in that case. If the contract's near 3, we do 1 contract. And you want to have ideally a $2,000 account to take those trades. You don't want to just use your whole account to buy as many contracts as you can, because at that point the drawdown will be pretty large.
Yeah, it would wipe you out pretty quickly. So yeah, don't do that. But you could start with $1,000 account and build it up to $2,000, and then just don't scale at 2,000. Just keep taking the same amount so that you stay safer. But yeah, you can play it how you want to play it. Next question, how are there 25% drawdowns if your OCO is set? I'm not sure of the question there. An OCO is a take profit and a stop loss set at the same time. So if it hits your stop loss, you do lose money. So, and the 25% drawdown, that is an absolute worst case scenario. You joined on the worst day possible. The actual drawdown is more like 14-15% for most people. It's just going to be the unlucky few that join right as losses are coming. So, but yeah, you still lose if you have an OCO order in. You can still lose, obviously.
When we saw the max drawdown percent, that has to do with entering on January 2024. So you could have had a lot of gains first, and then you hit a drawdown. So imagine you're at $2,000, you might be at $3,000, and then hit a 20% drawdown on the 3,000. You would be down about 600 in that case, but then you're still up because you started with 2,000, and you'll be at 2,400 in that case. So It really depends on when you're entering, but that's worst case scenario. Like you're the most unlucky person ever, and you got in right where the max drawdown hit. That was the 25%.
Are the results the same between SPY and MES? Lance, I'll let you answer that. You've had a little bit more experience.
It's very similar. It's not identical though, because in some days we would get our profit in the SPY while the MES didn't quite hit the profit yet. Some of the dollar amounts are not exactly the same, but they're very close, within sometimes $5 or so. So it's pretty negligible in the end. If you did this with MES instead of SPY every day, it pretty much would be identical in trades. Sometimes the MES will profit early, sometimes the ATM will profit early, but the actual dollar amounts are very close.
Yeah, Ken, the MES trades, I don't know if you're in ATM, your name looks familiar, so I think you're in one of the services. The MES trades are still in beta, but they are included, and they'll probably stay in beta just because I don't have a way to back test them. So I don't want to call something a live service that I don't have any experience with. So maybe one day I'll get some experience with MES. Lance is trying to push me over the edge on that.
They're both good. I'm personally still doing the ATM alerts because it works so well. There's not really much reason to think otherwise. I personally do them in my Roth IRA, which when it's over 25,000, it's like a cash account. You could easily enter, exit trades as much as you want. If you have under a $25,000 account, you'd want to get a regular cash account if it's a non-IRA account, just because then you could take more than the 3 days a week and not have to worry about the pattern day trader rule.
Hamed says, hi, Russell and Lance. Could you please explain all the consolidated services offered by Theta Traders, including...
Yeah, it's complex. It's a kind of a big system now. We're starting to really grow with the different services and things. I've had that question actually via email by a couple of people recently. And so they even thought that some of the other stuff that I review, because you guys, most of you guys watching this probably know that I review a ton of different stuff. And they even thought that like Nate Tushy or whatever his name is was part of like this whole system, between this ecosystem that we're forming between Lance and Phil and David from IWM, and I had to explain like, no, it's not. So how can we best explain this? We have Theta Traders, which maybe Lance can talk about what is in that, and then we can talk about what's it called, Trading Lab now. We rebranded recently from 0DTE SPX to include the SPY ATM in there. And then maybe that's the easiest way to do it, we can also share screens. I guess we could share screens and show what is included in each one, maybe, or something. Maybe that's not necessary. Maybe, Lance, you just kind of...
I'll just explain it. Yes, I run thetatraders.com, where I primarily do options selling. I'll occasionally do some buying, like I buy stock and sell covered calls, but I'll do a 0DTE for a spread. I'll do a longer dated option trade, option spread as well. And that's the quarterly plan. For the other plans, I do a lot of futures-based trades. So I'll sell options on futures. For the Trade Lab, which is what our focus is today, we do two different versions. One is the SPX spreads, where Phil does a credit spread and I do a credit spread as well. It's actually the same spread as my Theta Trader 0DT spread. And then we also have the ATM alerts. That's a buy side based on the presentation that you just saw.
Yeah. And I've put a link in the comments a couple of times here where you can go to the landing page and you can look at the charts where it actually shows like over time what the profits have been on the SPY ATM stuff. So I've posted that link. You can also buy the system at that link as well. And we are running a limited lifetime deal. So it's not quite as good as it was when we launched, but if you want to try if you like just having one payment, which a lot of people do, you might want to get that. It's a limited time. We're only going to run that until I think we said the 15th. So it works out as very little money when you really think about it in the long run. It works out at like $140 a month or something, maybe not even that. And the percentages of winning here is so good that if you're using even a small account, what would you say, like maybe a $10,000 account, you'll easily pay for that pretty quickly. So and even smaller than that perhaps, but yeah.
Hamed is asking if he can purchase everything. Hamed, I would say reach out to Russell. What is it? Stock alerts reviewed at protonmail.com.
That's right. I'll put my email in just in case people want to email me. But you can also email these guys, although I don't think your emails are as accessible as mine is. I know Lance has his on Theta Traders, but I don't think we have your email on the landing page for SPY ATM yet, Phil. So we should probably put that on there.
Okay.
But I'm happy to deal with these types of questions. It's kind of my role in the whole thing is to do the market and then also and like answer these types of questions and stuff and try and reduce the load that you guys have because you're the traders really in all this. So stock alerts reviewed at protonmail.com. I'm just going to post that into the chat here. There we go. And so if you have questions like, can we do a deal in a bundle? Can we, whatever you have, we do payment plans as well, right? Like we're not super keen on those because sometimes people default on them, but like we will work with you if we can, if you really want to join, and we can do payment plans, if you want to do lifetime, for example, but you don't want to pay $14.97 up front, then we will do payment plans. That's something like a lot of people don't do. it's something that like I think it's something I'm pretty proud of that Lance and Phil do, because it's rare in this industry and it really helps people buy stuff that they really want to do but don't want to pay up front. Maybe they want, and it's not that common. So I think it's kind of cool to do that. So yeah.
Is the system buying or selling options? I think someone in the chat answered that. ATM is buying options. The other SPX Premium is selling a spread. Joined 5 minutes too late. Did I miss the big announcement?
For the
winner. Yeah, we haven't done the giveaway yet.
No, I've got it ready to go, but I want you guys to make sure that you know what you're getting into, because I want to make sure that there's no point in giving this to somebody who doesn't understand what they're getting. So I want to make sure you guys understand what they're getting.
How do you enter the freebie? Is that over? Is the entrance
over?
No,
it's closed. So I already have the spreadsheet of everybody. Remember, we did this a month, or we were going to do this like 2 weeks ago, right? And then I had some personal problems I had to deal with, and we canceled it. So some of you guys probably know that, some of you don't know it. And so we already had run the competition for a week or two, and then we ran it again for another week or so in between. And so I already have 166 phone numbers, and this is a phone number one. We want to start touching base with you guys on multiple fronts, like, because some people, the email just goes to spam, so you'll never even know you won. Whereas like there's a 98% open rate on text messages. So if you win this, you'll actually know. And we've had this problem in the past where people have won and we never hear from them because their emails go to spam. So this is why we're going towards text message, say like, hey, you won. And, so that's kind of why we're doing that. So we promise we aren't going to spam you guys though. I know some companies start spamming text messages to people, but we're not going to do that. So we're just going to send a text message to the winner of this, and then you might get some follow-up marketing in terms of like, hey, do you want a deal? Like we're kind of doing a bundle or whatever, so you might see some of that via text, but it won't be like totally bugging you like nonstop via text or anything like that. So that's cool that Erwin's saying these guys, the service is legit. That's all I have to say after using it for a month. And yeah, and you can see from the charts, if you go to the link that I keep posting, Spy, I'll post it again, that's the data for the inferior system. So if you go and look at those charts, that's the inferior system. So can you imagine what the new system does? It's pretty incredible. So if you go to that link that I just posted to check it out, that's the landing page. It's where you buy stuff. So yeah. So what else? Are we going to do the giveaway now? Well, people are still here. A few people left. So we had about 70 odd people on.
There's a few more questions we can answer.
Okay. Yeah, we could rapid fire these. Ken, I assume NES would be the same as ES. I don't know. Yeah.
MES is $5 per point that it moves, and ES is $50 a point. So ES is 10 times MES.
Yeah, but it follows the same trend, right? Like it follows
the same trend. Yeah. If you entered in one or the other, it would still close at the exact same amount anyway. Just the dollar amount is different. But if you're doing ES, you have to have a larger account than MES.
Right, for sure.
Erwin's got a great question. What's the main difference between 1.0 and 1.1? So a few things. We have a better win rate because we're skipping more trades when there's more volatility or the momentum isn't there. So higher win rate. The profitability is higher because of that. We're going to start showing what the trades would have been with the skips. Right now, we just say skip and we don't tell you the trade. But starting tomorrow, you'll have what the trade would have been if you want to do your own analysis and use that as a starting point. The suggested scaling is in there now. And Erwin, you're in ATM, so you can actually look in the Discord and see what today's alert looked like for version 2, and we can actually pull that up too before we end. We could take a look at the Discord, and SPX is back in play now too. We're back testing SPX alerts, so SPX ATM, so that's back in play as well. Hamad asked, what time do you do the trades? 10:30 a.m. Eastern time always, and if you can't be there at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, it's probably not going to work.
It's also a beautiful thing to do, though. Having a set time for an alert's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's on purpose.
One of the top criteria I have is Oh yeah, it's perfect, and that's one of the biggest attractions of the service is you don't have to monitor your computer all day. You know when you're going to be trading, you can be ready for it. You know, you can make sure you schedule work meetings to be at a different time or whatever. And honestly, it's the top factor, one of the top factors that goes into people actually choosing like what service they're going to buy if you have a specific time, because it's no good if you're working away and then suddenly a random alert comes in and it has to be acted on within a few minutes. I've seen it, I've done it, I've been in all these services, hundreds of different services over the years, and this one, this is what we're focusing on now, is specific timed trade alerts, because it makes your life so much easier and it's actually replicable rather than, you know, just being like random messages come out and you're like, oh crap, I couldn't get that one. So, you know, so I
Yeah.
love that about this service. I really do.
Yeah, Phil tried to design this service where it's easy to enter, easy to manage, know exactly when it is, and then we're here to help with any questions that you guys have as
Yeah.
the day goes on.
Aaron's saying that's the biggest problem with other alert services. Absolutely, it really is. You'll just get an alert out of nowhere, and you probably miss it. And of course, you'll miss the ones that win, and you'll get in the ones that are losing trades. I see it over and over and over again, and then you go, "This is a scam," or "This is not working for me." Cancel, you know. And so that's why this service is so amazing. That plus the profits that you make from it. I've never seen anything like it before. Over 10 years of basically buying and reviewing services on the buy side. Like Lance's services are just as good, but they're different. They're sell side, so you make a little bit less percentage and all that. But buy side, this is by far the best service I've ever seen, and I've literally reviewed hundreds. If you guys watch my YouTube channel or read my blogs or anything, you'll have seen that. And this one is by far the best I've ever seen. And I think Lance agrees, right? Like you're only going to do Phil stuff, and you're not going to do like.
For buy side, this is the only one I'm going to use. There's not really any need to do any others. So the results speak for themselves. I'm up a little over 15% in a month already. And this new 1.1 should be even better than that. I mean, it's really hard to complain and it's really easy to enter. So, yeah, this is the only one I'm going to use.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are agreeing. Everyone's agreeing that like this is the best service out there, and I'm really, really glad that I reached out to you, Phil. Like a few months ago, and it's been like this has exceeded expectations in terms of like how well the service is doing. So, I see a few other questions. Like one person seems to think, Hamid, I'll put this up on the screen. This is definitely a problem with how I market stuff and how I do reviews and things. So Nate is nothing to do with us. Nate, that's either Nate Bear or Nate Tushy, I think his name is. Um, and so on the website, so I'm only Nate and Spy, and where can I see all the other services? So it's a good question. It's a good question. So all the other services. So let's just reiterate that there's Phil's 0DTE SPX stuff, which is spreads, as well as Lance's 0DTE SPX stuff, which is spreads. That's in it's in the same Discord, but you have to pay extra to get access to it. And then you have Lance's thetatraders.com, and I can post that link for you guys as well. So thetatraders.com is all sell side stuff. I'm just going to post it for you guys just in case you want to check it out. Thetatraders.com. So yeah, so I agree. It's getting complex with all these spread services, and then the buy side SPY ATM, and I hope we can try and make it as clear as possible here. Anyway, what other questions do we have? Where did you guys get to?
There's not too many more left. Where's Central? Someone said, do you give an entry price range so you know if it moved away too much? Yeah, as long as you're entering in the trade within the first minute, ideally, or even around 30 seconds after the trade, then you're going to get in at a very close premium price to what the actual alert price is. Some days you might be a little higher, some days you might be a little lower, and it all averages out in the long run to pretty much what the alert is. Like today, I actually got in about $10 less than the alert. So it really depends. You don't really have to worry about the range as long as you get in within about a minute.
All right. Well, why don't we do the competition? Because I know there's a lot of people that are probably hanging around here just for that. But let's just do it now. It's been 45 minutes. So how about this for a little bit, something a little bit different. So we have 167 entries into the competition. what I'd say, like, can you guys pick a number between 1 and 167 and start posting them in the chat? And then I'll have like somebody else, like Lance, maybe just picks one randomly. He hasn't seen the spreadsheet whatsoever, and so if you guys start posting numbers between 1 and 167 for a few minutes here, just as we go, then Lance will pick one randomly, and thanks, Sail Away, that's 62. And so posting numbers, and then we'll just pick one randomly. There we go, 78, 25, 62. And just to make it as fair as possible, so 369. That's a little bit outside the range. I wish we had 369 people. There we go. People are posting tons of numbers. Texas Yeti, hey Texas. Air Rosie, 165. Dundun, 189. Bob, 161. There we go. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming, because we're basically gonna just randomly pick one of these numbers, and hopefully you'll be the number that you. That'd be awesome if you were the number that you offer up, right? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm not looking at the numbers. You want me to just pick one randomly or what?
Yeah. Let's just let the numbers come in for a little bit, like, and then you can just pick a number out of them. I'll wait till it stops, kind of thing. So we'll see. All right, so let's post the trade log while this is going on. So basically, here is the trade log for version 1.1, right, guys? That's what you just gave me, 1.1. So here's a Google spreadsheet. I'm all about transparency, so there's the Google spreadsheet. Hopefully it doesn't go off the screen too fast. I'll post it again here in a few minutes. Maybe we'll post it after everybody's finished with their numbers. Wow. Texas Yeti, you're not allowed to vote twice. You can't just keep giving us numbers. I mean, you can technically, because the more numbers, the better. All right. So that's a ton of numbers. Are you guys watching this, Phil and Lance? Like, it's just the screen's filling up with numbers.
I'm not looking because you want me to pick a number, right?
Well, I want you to pick one of the people. So maybe you like Donna. Maybe you like.
No, I'm not doing it that way. I already have a number.
So. Oh, you do. All right. Well, it's cool. Okay, guys. So you can stop posting numbers. It's kind of not working that way. I thought Lance would pick like somebody he knows or something. You know.
No,
like...
that's not fair.
I guess that's probably a bad idea.
All right. Here's what I
never
did.
thought that one
Random number generator on Google. How about the number closest to? Random number generator said 35.
All right, so we're looking at 35 on my spreadsheet. 35, and we have to be careful here because we might have to do this again if the number's invalid. A lot of people are totally like annoying me, and they'll just put random phone numbers in, thinking that like somehow they're going to win. But we're going to text the number, and if they don't answer, then they don't win. And there's a possibility we'll pick another number and text the person to see if they've won. So I'm looking at number 35 right now. So if your name is Derek and you have the word Oasis in your email address, then congratulations, you have won a lifetime to spy ATM alerts. So number 35 is Derek with Oasis in his email address and a phone number ending in 35. So congratulations if you're on the live stream right now. Generally, people are not. So like what we find is we actually have to go back and email them or text them in this case after the webinar. So that is the winner. So hopefully you're on here, Derek. I'm really hoping you are.
I got a couple of questions I can answer while you're waiting. Hamed asked, what does it mean based on $2,000 static account, no scaling? So he's looking at the spreadsheet that we just posted. So if you guys are looking at it on the main combined P&L page, you'll see that I've got profits, ROI, and max drawdown in two sections. There's one that's based on a static account, no scaling, and one that's based on a $2,000 starting account with scaling. So 2,000 static account, no scaling means that the contracts each day are based on a $2,000 account every day. It's not looking at how much you've profited before. So, and the with scaling, that's assuming you joined January 1st, 2024, and you continued to scale your contracts as your account grew. And I saw another question from Terry. Have you looked at reducing the downside percentage in OCO? Yeah, I've looked at, I'm not kidding when I say hundreds of iterations for SPY ATM. And are there other things that work? Yeah. I think you could actually do a one-to-one. I am not recommending that you do that, but if you could do a one-to-one based on what the take profit is, the take profit is 20% from the entry price. So you could do a 20% stop loss. Now, the thing that's going to change is, the win rate is going to drop dramatically, and the profitability does drop as well. The best sweet spot was the 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. It's got an almost 80% win rate. The thing I find with these 50% win rate strategies is you can still make money on those if the risk to reward is right, but it's really discouraging to have loss after loss after loss. So when we're marketing a service, I would rather have a higher win rate, and I would, a service that I'm trading, I would rather have a higher win rate, so I know I'm sticking with it. So, but yeah, we have looked at other percentages for the OCO, and this is the most profitable way. I don't think I see. Oh, there's a new one. What criteria are you using to determine direction? That is proprietary, so we can't answer that. Do some trades last more than 20 minutes? Yeah, we had one the other day last. How long did it last? Was it a couple hours?
There was one a few weeks ago that was about 2-3 hours or so. I know some people were closing it out at a smaller profit just because they didn't want to watch it all day. But that's pretty rare, honestly. We had another trade that closed in 4 minutes. I think it was 2 days ago. So there's a bit of variability in when it closes. But what's great about this service is you just enter, you OCO, and then just let it be and not have to watch the market the whole time to see if it works or not.
Can you predict probability of success on any given trade? I wish. No.
That would be great.
Yeah, I wish we could do that, but no, we can't do that. Do you update during the trade, or is it preset? Preset, OCO. So I like to say in the chat, set it and forget it. I don't want to look at the charts. I don't want to see anything. I walk away. The 70% win rate gives you positive reinforcement. Yeah, that's right. Does SPY and SPX use the same proprietary logic? Yes, SPX is based on the SPY logic. The only thing it looks at for SPX is it's looking at the SPX price and the SPX options chain, but it's basing the movement on SPY.
If you have a larger account, it might make sense to do the SPX just due to commissions.
Yep.
Because you can buy 10 SPY contracts for very close to the same price as one SPX. Any other general questions? Let's see.
Yeah, what's the difference between your services is one? Phil and Lancy's spread service, which is one has a smaller risk to reward rate.
You mean Phil's spread and my spread, I think.
Probably you have a stop loss. I don't.
Yeah, that's the main difference.
Yeah.
I go for more premium up front.
Yeah.
But there are no stop losses on my service. Well,
and
pretty much.
Time we enter is different. I enter at 10 a.m. and you enter at 10:40. Those are the main differences.
We have a lot of people that are in your SPX services already, like on here. Yeah. So people heading off. So let's see if there's any more questions. Some people are just commenting that they love your stuff. You love your signals. You love the SPX stuff. And if you're interested in the SPX stuff, you can also email me at stockalertsreviewed@protonmail.com, and I can set you up with a deal on that or whatever. We can do that too. But really, the focus of tonight's webinar has been obviously on the buy side, SPY ATM alerts here. So. So we do have a poll. So there is a poll on how many people, and this is something that most services would completely avoid, right? I'm sure all of you guys have been in services where they don't even give a track record, right? That's ridiculous. You don't even give a track record. But going beyond and above that, or above and beyond, I guess got that mixed up. Above and beyond that, we actually poll our members. So it's like we want to see like how people are doing. So we do have a poll. Now the question is, where's the poll? Do you have it pulled up on Discord? Either of you guys? Are you able to quickly pull it up on Discord? So what we do is we regularly poll members to see, are you profitable or not? Because that is the key. Do members make money? And that is really, 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 really important. And it's something that I want to show you guys tonight, if we can find the poll, because we didn't really plan to show you. Have you got it?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Do you want to pull it up?
Sure. Where did you send it?
Discord in our chat.
Okay. I'll pull up in a sec then. Let me just get rid of this. So this is something that's really important. So I want you guys that are still here, and a lot of you are still hanging around, which is really good. So I'm going to open up Discord, and I'm going to show you the poll. Let's see. Sorry, I'm having a lot of problems here tonight with Discord. Let's see if we can get open. Discord. Log in. So you sent it in private chat, I guess. You can show that as long as, I can guess I can make it full screen. Okay, I see it here. Let's see. So let's pull this down. What do you guys think we're going to show here? This is a good question for everybody. What do you think the percentage of people out of 30, almost 30 people make money with SPY ATM alerts? So my experience is about 10% of people usually make money with stock alert services. It's sad, but it's not much higher than the average trader. So about 10, maybe 20. I've seen as high as 50% before. What do you guys think that the win percent rate for subscribers that filled out this poll is? Do you think it's 10%, 50%, 80%? Or do you think it's higher than that? Because I think you'll be shocked at what I'm about to show you right now. I think you'll be really shocked. So I'm going to share my screen, and you'll see what we've actually done here. And I'll explain why it's even better than it looks, which is absolutely crazy. So here is the results from the poll. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll make it full screen here. So we had 29 people vote, which is not a huge sample size, but it's hard to get people to vote on these things. It's still one of the bigger sample sizes I've seen for these small Discords. But look at this. 27 votes, so 93% said they had been profitable with SPY ATM. But look at this. Nobody said no. 0% said no. 2 people said that they were too new to answer the question. So this actually really is 100% of people that answered the poll said yes. People that are new don't really count. We should probably not have put the too new to answer in there, because this would have said 100% have been profitable with this alert service. That's how good this is. And that's unheard of. It really is. I've only seen this Actually, I've never seen 100% of people happy with an alert service ever, because they either don't trade it right, or they just give up, or they, there's lots of things, or maybe it's not that good a service. This one is insane. I mean, that's absolutely insane. So this is worth your time. It's worth your money. So definitely check it out. And we'll post the link to buy this one more time. We'll also send some emails out. So I'm just going to paste this in real quick so you guys can see it. So this is the link to buy this service if you are interested in buying SPY at 10:30 Eastern time every single day, and actually making money doing this, or doing it for a prop account or something. So that's the link. I just posted it again. And I think we're about ready to wrap this up, guys, right?
Yeah, there's not many other questions. So if you want to leave your email up again, you guys could email me, or Russell, or Phil. We do have a lifetime offer as well that will end on Sunday at midnight. So then after that, there will not be any opportunity for lifetime. We want to make sure that we're staying with committed people that are here for the long term. So if you are interested in the lifetime, it's a really good deal compared to monthly and quarterly. And be welcome to have you guys in the community.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hopefully you guys join if you're not already in it. The guys that are in it, I'm really happy for, because this is really a really good service for the price. I've seen people charge $5,000 for services that really don't work. And so to get this for the prices that we offer on the website that I keep linking you guys to is absolutely phenomenal. And I really appreciate Lance and Phil's work on this. For the SPY ATM, mainly Phil, but then for the 0DTE stuff, also Lance is doing really well with that. What are you up on the 0DTE SPX stuff, Lance? I think you're up pretty well, right? Recently.
Yeah, we've been on a good run. It made almost 50% since the Trump tariff news in April.
Wow.
And yeah, we're currently in a good run right now.
So you guys, if you want to do a bundle deal where you get the 0DTE SPX stuff, which is what Lance and Phil do, that's how the service started, and then we added the SPY ATM buy-side stuff. If you want to do both, which are both amazing services, we can do a bundle deal, and to do that, you're going to have to reach out to me. So again, I'm going to post my email one more time here. Stock alerts reviewed. It's funny because it's called Stock Alerts Reviewed because when I first started, stocks were more in sort of fashion, but over the time I've been doing this, options are much more popular. So, yeah. All right. Any last final questions? It looks like we're kind of done here, right? So, people are saying thank you for all what you do. Thanks, folks. All right. If you have any more questions, email me. Talk on the Discords. If you maybe you're in SPY ATM and you're loving it and you want to try the SPX stuff, just direct message Phil, Lance, or me, and we'll get you sorted out with the SPX spreads as well. All of them are really good. So maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you're in the SPX 0DTE stuff and you've been liking it. SPY ATM, in my opinion, is better for a lot of people with smaller accounts as well. Like it just is. I mean, it's and in my opinion, I know some people differ because there's a lot of different opinions in this thing. But all right, so I think we're done for the night. Let's hope that you guys enjoyed the presentation and all the questions and answers. We try to be as transparent as possible, and hopefully you guys have had a good time here. And we'll catch up with you in the near future. We'll probably do another webinar. We're kind of addicted to these. They work well and they're fun to do, and it's good to touch base with everybody in the comments. So with that said, let's call it a night. Any more questions, you know where to contact us. So have a good night.
Thanks for joining, everybody, and have a good rest of the day.
All right. So I'm going to end the stream there.